Welcome to Inspired Vinyasa. My name is Sandra, and as I always ask at the beginning of class, start out in whatever position makes you smile, makes you happy, and then close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Cleansing exhale through the mouth. And just allow quiet and stillness to swirl around you, settling into your space, befriending your yoga mat. Take another deep breath in. Big exhale. And then inhale, take the arms all the way up above you, bring the palms together, and exhale them home to your heart in prayer pose. We're going to pause right here to set a fabulous intention for our practice, for our day, for the days beyond. Remember, only positive words and affirmations in your intention. And when you're done, release the hands. Keeping the eyes closed, just beginning to follow the breath. This theme is about puzzles. I was thinking about, all the things that we are finding to keep ourselves busy and occupied. It's kind of interesting to think about them and break them down into their symbolism and what they actually mean. And so this past week, my son and I were working on a jigsaw puzzle. And I don't know, it was kind of fun. He's never done a puzzle before. He was never interested. And I was thinking about how I like to take all the edge pieces, find them, and get the perimeter created, and then I work my way in. But I noticed somebody else on Facebook posted a couple days ago that they only do like the bottom edge of the puzzle and they work their way up without the other edges. And so interesting to take this analogy about how we're each dealing with all of these pieces of our life puzzle, but we're putting them together in different ways. And so that's our theme today. And then to add on to that, that made me think of yoga binds, right? Because they're kind of a puzzle. Some of them are really hard to get into. Some of them we're never going to get into. And that's okay, right? And so a little bit of binding this morning. We're going to ease our way in. And you know what? The ones we can't do, we let it go. We just let it go. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale. Let's turn the palms down over the knees so we can just start moving a little bit, finding your seated cat-cow. And so each exhale is rounding backwards, dropping the chin. Each inhale is sitting up tall, letting the crown chakra seek sun. Round it out. Keep going. Let's do that one more time, and then we'll all end up in the seated position. Perfect. So if you have a yoga block, let's grab it. Absolutely not necessary for this pose, but I don't know, I kind of thought it might bring a sense of security if we need it, and we can even get to it. Who knows? I'm going to put it at its tallest height off to my right side. So right hand is going to reach across and grab onto the left knee. Inhale the left arm up. I know, as you glance over at that right block, it's quite a ways away, isn't it? Remember, we don't actually have to get to that block. We might not ever need it in this pose. We're taking a side bend, so take it slowly, really slowly. We're coming down, and so that block is there. If your hand can find it, I'm going to move mine forward because it's a little behind me. Breathe. That right hand can slip away from the knee a little bit if you need to. Breathe. Settling into this first kind of a bind here. I feel like I'm in a bind. Actually, it's making me think of pretzels. I've been thinking of food a lot while I'm stuck in the house. I don't know about you guys. I find that as I settle into this pose and I relinquish the parts of it that are holding me back, it feels more comfortable. Yeah? So take that analogy off the mat as well, relinquishing whatever is holding you back. Breathe. You might find you can go a little deeper. Close your eyes, perhaps. I promise we're not stuck here. Although being stuck quite goes with the puzzle theme, right? When you're doing a jigsaw puzzle, don't you get to a point where you just have to get up and take a break because you cannot figure out what piece would go in next? Okay, so think about this before you come up. If you feel like you have been stretched to capacity in this pose and it might be a strain to pull yourself up, then I want you to take that top hand, put it on the ground in front of you first, and use the hand to push your way up, because we held that for quite a while. I can feel that. You might want to move a little bit and unravel. Ooh. And then go ahead and take that block, move it to the other side. And again, you might never touch it. That's totally okay. We're going to take the left hand to the right knee. Inhale that right arm up. You can kind of glance at that block, see where you're headed. And then let's very slowly take that side bend to the left. Easing your way into the pose, looking for that block. And then just settle in. And so what happened is we were doing this jigsaw puzzle is we get to the end, and you know, that's an exciting place to be when you've got like 10 pieces left and there is an end in sight, right? And my son says, I don't think we have enough pieces. And I said, that can't be true. I've only done this puzzle once before. It can't be missing pieces. But yet we continue on and we're missing 2 darn puzzle pieces. And so we're looking everywhere. We can't find them. And I don't want to break up the puzzle yet because there's this chance that I will find where those pieces ended up because we did move rooms with the puzzle. And, you know, it's such a disheartening feeling to not be able to complete the puzzle, to have those blank spaces looking at you. But I want you to consider that sometimes in life, all of these crazy puzzle pieces that are floating around us, changing up our pattern, changing our behavior, maybe it's okay that they don't fit together. Maybe not all pieces are supposed to go to the same picture. Maybe they're to hold on to, and they go to a future picture of yours. Take a deep breath here, settle in. So again, if you kind of feel stuck or it's going to be a strain on your back to pull you up, take that top hand, put it to the earth in front of you, and let the arm do the work. Slowly come back up. Unravel the spine a little bit, move around. Perfect. And then let's just come on over into child's pose. You take the knees wide, toes together, soften the heart, arms are reaching forward. And just settle in right here. Start to deepen the breath. And then let's come on up into table. Work this out a little bit in your cat-cow transition. there's also this thought I had about sometimes maybe the puzzle pieces that we think we're missing are right in front of us. We just don't see them, right? It's kind of like when you're seeking an answer and you feel like you just can't grasp it. Maybe the answer is right in front of us, but we have to be open enough to spot it in different ways. And so that might take time, right? And so, yes, it did take some time. You know, within an hour, we found one of those puzzle pieces in the kitchen. I'm certain that we must have dropped it to the floor and a dog laid on it. And then when the dog got up, the puzzle piece stuck to him and it ended up in the kitchen. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Speaking of dogs. And we were so excited just to have that one little puzzle piece that was insignificant, really, but yet it made a big deal to us. And so then we thought, well, if we found one, certainly we should hold out. We'll probably find the other. Are you walking out that dog pose? Because I want you to loosen up the hamstrings. And then find stillness in the dog. Draw the heart a little bit more. Breathe. Ah, perfect. Let's come forward into plank. Hold it. Pinch the abs. Tighten the abs. Make sure you're a straight line between the ankles and the shoulders. Good job. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. And then on your exhale, child's pose. Starting out slowly. We don't need to run our way into a puzzle bind on the mat, right? Staying in child's pose, balasana, for another few breaths. So to end up this story, we did find the last puzzle piece. It was right in front of us. It was on the floor in front of one of our chairs. We'd already looked there. We had taken a flashlight, and we still hadn't seen it. Doesn't that sound like certain situations in life? You are looking right at the answer. You are looking right at the path that would be best for you, but it's as though it's not even there. And so when we found that last puzzle piece, again, just super excited, even though it is really about something small. Take a deep breath in. All right, so I want you to come back up into table, cross one ankle over the other. That's just so you can sit back. We need to come back to a seated pose, and then I'm going to kind of scooch into the middle of my mat so I'm not all the way at the top end like that. Okay, go ahead and stretch out the left leg. The right foot, I'm bringing it up into half lotus, so it's further up towards my hip than if I had it in more of a pigeon pose. If the leg doesn't want to come up toward the hip, we're not forcing it. We're not going to get into an argument with the leg. Wherever it wants to go is totally fine, right? Fair enough. So I'm just going to let my left hand rest right on top of that right foot. I'm going to sit up nice and tall. Right hand is going to reach forward and grab the big toe on that left foot. If you can't reach it, grab your strap. If you don't have a strap, you might consider grabbing like a belt or a tie to a robe or something so you can get the strap around the foot and hang on to it. We're going to try to lengthen the spine here and then just draw that left shoulder back. So we're just adding a little twist. And then the head's going to turn to look over that left shoulder. Deepen the breath. So I'm sure this next question that I'm going to pose to you could be answered for eternity in a myriad of different ways. I'm probably opening up a can of worms, but I guess the question I was thinking about asking was, you know, in this weird situation we find ourselves in, what is puzzling to you? You know, what's got you most worked up that you can't quite get your head around. Now, option A is going to be to stay right here while you're thinking about that question. Option B, let's turn this a little bit more into a bind. Left hand is going to come behind you and grab onto the right hip. If the hand doesn't reach the hip, it just stays right behind you. Yeah, and maybe we can open up that left shoulder just a little bit more. Strengthening the breath. Good job. Inhale. Exhale. Release the upper body. Release the arms. Go ahead and stretch out that right leg for a moment, flexing both feet. Inhale the arms straight up. Hinge forward into your fold, Paschimottanasana. If you need to work your way there because you're feeling tight today, add some movement. I feel really tight today, so I'm taking my time, easing into poses. And then you'll find your way right back up. So let's keep the right leg stretched out. Take the left foot into half lotus if it will go there. Right hand is staying on the left foot. I'm going to sit up tall. Reach forward to try to grab the big toe on the right foot, or I'm going to use my strap. Sit up as much as you're able to in this pose, and then add that upper body twist. Pull the right shoulder back, and the head looks over the right shoulder. And so here, we're just deepening the breath. That's where your focus should be. Remember, this is option A. If you want option B, the right arm is going to come around behind you and the hand is going to grab onto the left hip. And then we'll see if we can work our way into that twist just a little bit more. Good job. Big inhale. Exhale. Release the twist. Straighten out that left leg. Inhale the arms up. Exhale into your fold. Take your time. If you need to bend the knees, go ahead. And then make your way back up. We're going to keep the legs straight. We're going to point through the ankles. Take the hands behind you, fingers facing in. Reverse plank when you're ready. If this is not a good pose for you, the way that you would make this a little bit more compassionate is to bring one foot in just inside the other knee, right? So that would look like this. If you're doing it with both feet, we're going to lift the hips and see if we can get the soles of the feet to touch the earth. Breathe. We're going to do this twice for all of those people who have decided to use that option so they can do both sides, right? Hang in there. Keep breathing. Don't hold the breath. Wait for an exhale to slowly lower the hips back down. We'll take a pausing breath here. If you did bring one foot in to do a one-legged reverse plank, now switch. And then when you're all ready, on your inhale, lifting up. Can't you just feel that heart chakra expanding on the inhale? When you get to an exhale, come on back down. Perfect. Bring the hands forward. Just work out the wrists a little bit. That can feel a little tough on them. And then let's come back into table. So again, if you're having wrist issues, I don't know, mine have been a little temperamental lately, you could come to your knuckles if you would prefer, Or take your mat. I think we've talked about this recently. You could roll your mat back so that your wrists are not at 90 degrees, whatever works for you. So from here, tuck the toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Rise into cobra. Downward facing dog. Now bring the feet closer to each other. Right leg is floating up behind you. Three-legged dog. Breathe, lengthen it out. Step the right foot forward between the hands for lunge. Lift the heart. Now find your balance. Take the arms up. You got this. Left arm is reaching forward. Right arm is reaching behind you. So we're adding that upper body twist. We'll come back here because we can add a bind, but not quite yet. Take the arms up. Release them to the earth. Step back to three-legged dog. Downward facing. Into plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Float the left leg up behind you, three-legged. Pause, straight, stretch it out, lengthen it out. Step the left foot forward for lunge. Stay right there, lift the heart. Find your balance, take the arms up. Right arm forward, left arm behind you. Breathe. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale them to the earth. Three-legged dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Pausing there for a breath. So I found this quote online. It's always the small pieces that make the big picture. It's always the small pieces that make the big picture. It's those little things that we sometimes overlook, and perhaps that's why finding those two puzzle pieces was so exciting. It completed the big picture. Yet I do want you to hang on to this idea that maybe we go through life, maybe picture this path in your mind's eye. And there are puzzle pieces kind of scattered around. It's like Survivor. They're not necessarily easy to spot, but you pick them up along your way. And I kind of like the idea that maybe the puzzle pieces aren't necessarily for my current big picture. That it's okay to hang on to them and to kind of see what picture they are going to fit into. All right, we're not staying in child's pose forever. Come on up into table. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Lift the heels way up high, bend the knees, take your gaze forward. However you want to get to Uttanasana, forward fold. Whew. Mat's rippling on me here. Inhale, monkey, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale it down. Rise all the way up. And take the hands to the heart. You might pause, close your eyes for a moment. So from here, let's take the hands behind us, Yoga Mudra. I'm going to take my weight into my left foot. So I lift the foot, spread the toes out wide, grip onto the mat. And then let's come on into Warrior C. Breathe. Come on back up. Set that foot down. Release the arms. Take them up above you. Forward fold when you're ready. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, soften. Reverse swan dive. Hands to the heart. Drop the arms behind you, yoga mudra. Shift the weight into the right foot. Spread the toes out wide. Warrior C when you're ready. Come back to standing. Release the arms. Inhale them up. Bring the palms together. Release them to the heart. Turn the fingertips to the earth. Forward fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale. Come down, bend into the knees, return to the mat. Okay. This next bind I have for you is a little crazy. And you know, I think you need to keep in the forefront of your mind ahimsa, that we're not forcing the body into it. Like, one of my shoulders is totally perfectly happy to do this bind for me. The other one says, I have no idea how the other shoulder got there, and I have no interest in figuring it out. And so that is totally okay. If you do have a strap, it will come in helpful. So let me turn this way first. Right knee facing forward. I have the leg bent. My right foot is headed towards my left hip. The other leg is crossing over, right? So I have my left foot on the outside of my right thigh. I probably should have started with my easy shoulder first, but anyway, do you see this little hole you got going on here with this bent leg on top? Yeah, that's where the bind is going to come into play. So if you're using your strap, you might thread it through there to give yourself a head start. Take the tail end on the right and toss it behind you. I'm just going to drop the strap. Okay, now let me turn back to the side. So the right arm, let's reach it straight out in front of us first. Let's sit up as tall as we can. The outer part of the upper right arm needs to come to the outside of this left knee. Okay. Now the hand is going to rotate. So I need to get the palm to turn inward and down. And then the hand is going to reach through that hole in the leg. And this is my shoulder that doesn't like this pose, so the hand kind of gets stuck. It's okay. Take the other arm around behind you. If the hands meet, fine. If they don't, find that strap. Or you could just grab onto your shirt. There we go. I want to keep this front elbow locked against the knee, because if I let it slip, I lose the whole bind, I lose the twist. I want to sit up really tall and pull that left shoulder back. Happy place, happy place. So this pose kind of reminds me of a Japanese koan. A koan is a puzzle that doesn't have an answer to it. It's kind of like asking you, what color is the wind? And then you stop to think about it, and you're like, well, does it have a color? Maybe it does. No, maybe it doesn't. And your mind starts going through all of these solutions. Or what is the sound of one hand clapping, right? The koan is supposed to be an intuitive answer. And so maybe this pose is bringing up the question of, why are we even doing this? And maybe there is no logical answer. It's more of an intuitive answer of, well, there's a learning lesson here. For me, it's don't worry about what the right shoulder can and cannot do. It doesn't have to keep up with the left shoulder. It's that practicing of ahimsa, what's right for you. I know I just talked a whole bunch, and you've been holding this pose, and it's not easy, so take a deep inhale. Exhale. If you're holding onto the strap, let it drop. Release the twist. Sit up nice and tall. And then let's just hug that front knee, purposely slouching the spine so it can loosen up. Maybe the forehead can drop to the knee. Maybe not all yoga poses have to have a bigger picture. Okay. Make your way back up. If you have that strap running through your legs, go ahead, slide it out. Untangle the legs. Woo. And let's switch sides. So I want to get the left leg on the bottom. The knee is pointing in the direction I'm looking. That right foot is crossing over to the outside of the left thigh. And then once again, I have this fabulous little space underneath my right knee that we're going to figure out how to bind with. So if you have a strap, go ahead and run it through underneath that right leg in case we need it, who knows. I'm going to take the right hand behind me for support so I can sit up really tall. Reach the left arm forward and then bring the upper outer left arm to the outside of that right knee. Remember, we got to rotate the hand, get the palm going down, and then the elbow can start to bend. And I don't know why it's easy for this arm, but if you can get your hand through to the outside of that left hip, that's a fabulous place to end up because then the right hand can reach around and grab on. Otherwise, grab your strap, sit up tall, pull the right shoulder back, and find your happy place. Stay with the breath. I want to give you equal time on this side. Lucky for all of us, we only have two sides. Good job. Deep breath in. Exhale, release the hands or the strap. Come back to center. Hug that front knee, round it out. And then come on back up. Move that strap out of your way. Stretch out both legs in front of you. Walk them out for a second. We're going to flex the feet. Inhale the arms. Let's see how the fold is feeling now. Oh yeah, I feel much looser. See, those twists are good. And then come on back up. We have some more binds to find, so come back to table. I found this other quote online that said, even the hardest puzzles have a solution. It might not be the solution you were hoping for, the one you dreamed of, the one you created in your mind, but in learning to be present, we work with the solution that ends up in front of us, right? Go ahead and tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Float the right leg up, three-legged dog. Step the right foot forward between the hands, high lunge when you have your balance. Left arm forward, right arm behind you. So we're setting up for a bind here. The outer left arm comes to the outside of the right leg. So I'm coming into a fold. The right hand is going to wrap around behind my low back and fall somewhere near my left hip. The left hand, again, turn the palm to face to your left so you can bend the elbow. Whew, I'm going to find the wall. There we go. And get the arm underneath. If you need to grab onto your shirt instead, do so. Breathe. I'm still really finding the carpet under my mat to be a challenge, but I guess it's just a learning lesson, right? Keep lifting that back thigh if you can. Happy place. Good job. Untangle the arms. Bring them back to the earth. Nice, safe place. Send the right leg back to plank. Chaturanga. Bhujangasana, cobra. Hold cobra for a moment. Let's stretch out the back. You might want to move around here. Perfect. Come on back down. Tuck the toes. Push your way back up into plank. Get a really good breath. Nice. Downward facing dog. Send the left leg up behind you. Three-legged. Step the left foot forward between the hands. High lunge. Right arm forward, left arm behind you. Okay, here we go, right? Left arm's gonna wrap around behind you. Drop your upper body. Get that right arm to come underneath. So again, my shoulder doesn't twist this way. And so, you know what? If you can just end up somewhere, it's all good. It's still an answer, right? It's what we were just talking about. The solution might not be what you were looking for. Of course, I'd love this arm to listen, but it's okay. Breathe. Keep lifting that back thigh. Good job. Release. Set the hands to the earth. Step back to plank. Chaturanga. Into cobra. Hold it. Breathe. Maybe you move around a little bit. Maybe you just want to stay still. Remember, we got to soften the shoulders, bring them down. Perfect. Come on down. Take a moment in reverse Shavasana. Settle in with a deep breath. And then go ahead and come up onto your elbows for a moment. I just want you to be able to see your space. I might run into things, but I'm going to tell you what we're going to do because you probably have more space without running into things like Ganesh and other stuff. If you have a block, grab it. If you do not have a block, grab something. Like, so I might grab my crystal over here. Whatever you have nearby, preferably the block, but if not, I'm going to back up, so maybe I might have enough room to do this with you guys. Okay. So I want you to stretch the arms out in front of you, hanging on to whatever it is you grabbed. Lift the heart, lift the chest. This is going to be a half locust, but we're going to work a little bit. So I'm going to take the block in my left hand, or your crystal or your shoe or whatever it is you picked up. I'm going to let the arms separate, yeah? They're going to meet behind me. I'm going to hand the block to my right hand and then bring it around. So see, I'm going to run into a wall and other things, but switch directions. Come back behind you, trade it off, send it forward. You got it. Keep going. Link it with the breath. You don't get to stop because I stopped. I'm busy chatting. And I just don't have the room right here to stay in the view of the camera. Keep going. You have this. Keep lifting the heart. Are you smiling? Are you puzzled as to why we would bother to do something so horrendous? There might not be an answer, right? Just a couple more times. I want you to make sure you end up with the right arm handing the block forward so that we're balanced. Finish off maybe one more cycle there if you haven't already. I can feel you're super pleased with me right now. And then go ahead and set that block down. Bring the arms down alongside your body, right ear to the earth. Close your eyes. Breathe into the low back. And then carefully turn your head to the other side, left ear to the mat. And then bring the head back to center. Hands underneath the shoulders simply to get you back up. We're coming into table. Okay, so I want you to shift the weight into the left leg. The right leg is going to stay bent at 90 degrees at the knee, but I'm going to just lift that leg out behind me. You're going to try to get the thigh parallel to the earth. I'm flexing the foot so it seems like I'm holding up the ceiling. I am not creating a huge arch in my spine or sinking into the elbows. Arms are straight, not locked. Pull the stomach in. Got it? Nice. So bring the right knee forward. Let it just touch the right arm or elbow. Send it back up. Tighten the glutes. Knee forward to the right elbow. Send it back up. Knee forward to the right elbow. This time, right knee taps the outside of the left leg. I still have that right foot up. Yeah? Lift that leg straight back up. Knee to the elbow. Right knee to the ground on the other side of the left leg. Tap it. Lift the leg straight back up. And when I say straight back up, keep the knee bent. And then right knee to the right elbow. Keep going. We've created this little triad here of movement. Won't this be fun when we figure out how we're going to incorporate this into plank? I can hear and feel your excitement. Okay. Next time the right knee's touching the right elbow, take it over to the left elbow. Oh, you probably can see where we're going to be heading. Hold it, breathe, breathe, breathe. Come back to table, tuck the toes, downward facing, walk that out. Good job. Come on back to table. Shift the weight into the right leg and knee. Lift that left leg out behind you. Again, flexing the foot, tightening the stomach, finding the alignment. Left knee to the left elbow. Send the leg out behind you. Keep going. One more. The next time the left knee touches the left elbow, it's now heading to tap the outside of the right leg, or the floor on the outside of the right leg, and then bring the leg up behind you, still bent. Left knee to the left elbow. Tap the left knee to the floor on the outside of the right leg. Lift that leg up. Keep going. The next time the left knee touches the left elbow, stay right there, and then let it cross over to touch the right elbow. Good job. Come back to table, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, walk it out. While we're here, this isn't really a bind, but we can pretend. Plant the left hand, let the right hand reach back to grab the outer left ankle if that's possible. If it's not, you find somewhere else to grab. Deepen the breath. Set the right hand back down, switch left side. Left hand grabs the outer right ankle. And then back to dog. Perfect. Come forward into plank. Breathe. Set your alignment. Downward facing dog. Walk the feet closer to each other so the right leg can lift. Three-legged dog. So as you bend the right leg, come forward into plank. Bring the right knee to the right elbow. Good job. Three-legged dog. Right knee to the right elbow. Three-legged dog. Oops, hitting the door. Right knee to the left elbow. Hold it. Breathe. Straighten out that right leg in front of you. I'm on the outer edge of it. I know you probably can't see my foot. Tip on the inner edge of the back foot and lift that left arm up. You are in supported side plank. Good job. Release the left hand. Downward facing dog. Ooh, stay right there for a second. I need to switch directions or I won't have any place to send my leg. Okay, left leg up, three-legged. Come forward into plank. Left knee taps the left elbow. Downward facing, three-legged, sorry. Left knee to the left elbow. Three-legged dog. Left knee to the right elbow. Hold it. Straighten out that left leg to the right. Come on the inner edge of the back foot. Right arm up. Release the hand. Come back to dog. Ooh, take it to child's pose. So, staying in Balasana, letting the breath calm down. Mine needs to calm down too. Let me share another quote with you I found. Whew. Jonathan Burkett wrote, "I look at this life as a puzzle without all the pieces in the box." Wow, what if that's true? What if we come to Earth in this particular lifetime purposely without all the puzzle pieces? Is that okay? Is that unsettling? Perhaps the missing puzzle pieces aren't really missing. Perhaps they allow something else to come through. Couple more breaths where you're at. We're going to walk the hands to the right in twisted child's pose. And then take the hands through center all the way to the left. And then come back to center, walk your hands in towards you so you can sit up for a second. We're going to come down onto our left side. My left arm is going to make a pillow to support my head. And then I have the knees bent, stacked as well, but I don't have them 90 degrees. I don't have them pulled up in front of me. They've backed off just a little bit. So from here, keep the ankles together, but lift the ankles up into the air. And then open that top knee and close it off. Keep going. You can close your eyes here. You can link the movement with the breath. I just thought maybe today one of our missing puzzle pieces were the glutes. I thought we'd go seeking them, so don't hate me tomorrow. Keep going. Tighten the abs. Having fun. I don't know about you, I'm totally not counting, so let's just say 2 more. Now, don't collapse the legs. You can let the bottom one down, not the top one. We're not done. In fact, lift it higher, flex that foot. Right knee to the ground in front of you. Toes come behind you to touch the ground. Knee to the floor in front of you, toes to the ground behind you. Keep going. Use that right hand wherever you need it to support you. Five more. Keep going. Do not put that leg down. Stretch it out. It's hovering over the ground. Flex the foot. I want you to imagine, instead of going down and up, we're lifting up and then down, up, back to starting point, up. Ooh, I can feel this. Keep going. 4, 5. Did you find your puzzle piece? I have located mine. Keep going. Hold it up, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Find your balance. Get that right hand to reach down alongside you so we can grab that top foot and draw the heel in towards the glute. Good job. Now you can relax that leg. You can either roll over to get to your right side or switch directions. Let the right arm support the head. Soft bend of the knees. Knees are stacked. Keep the ankles together but lift them off the ground, and then open up the top leg and close. Link it with the breath. If you can think about tightening the glute as you lift up, go for it. If you think you've just about had it and that's going to put you over the edge, don't bother. One more. Hold that leg, don't let it come down. You can set the bottom leg down. Left knee taps the ground in front of you. Left foot taps the ground behind you. Keep going. You got this. 2 more. Good. Don't let that leg drop. Just straighten it out. Now lift up and down. Up, up. Keep going. This is 8, 9, 10. Oh my gosh. Drop that leg. Come onto your back. Woo. Stretch the legs out for a moment. Take the arms overhead. And then go ahead and hug the knees into the heart. If you have room, open the arms straight out from the shoulders. If you don't, scarecrow is perfectly fine. Gently take the knees to the right side, lower them to the earth or onto a prop if you need one. And again, how do you know if you need one? If that left shoulder and shoulder blade can't stay on the ground, then you need a prop to let you back out of the pose. Now, let the breath calm itself down. There's no more work to be done. We did a lot of twists. We did a lot of binds. So just relaxing. You know, the twisting poses are great for the solar plexus chakra, which is all about control. And if there was ever a time evident where we didn't have control, I'm thinking this would be it. And so that chakra has got to be imbalanced for a lot of people. And so the twists kind of help Bring it out and bring back balance. Perfect. Go ahead and bring the knees all the way back through center. Take them to the other side. I'm going to have to scooch a little. I ran out of room. And then bring the knees back up. Hug them in one more time. Strong inhale through the nose. Cleansing exhale through the mouth. Oh, you did it. You made it to Shavasana. So go ahead and lengthen out on your mat. Grab whatever props you want. Get comfortable and close your eyes. What puzzle piece are you currently missing? In other words, what answer have you been trying to find lately? What question has been plaguing you? Do we have to have that puzzle piece right now? Or is it okay to think that it might appear suddenly on our path just a little bit down the road? Settle into your space. I will come back and get you with my voice in just a while. Elvira Nazarian wrote, "Not every puzzle is intended to be solved. Some are in place to test your limits. Others are in fact not puzzles at all." And to deepen your breath. Bring some movement back into the body. And either stay as you are for another moment or roll onto a side in a fetal position. And when you're ready, take a gentle deep breath and push your way back up into any seated pose that you like the best. Draw the shoulders up toward the ears, hold for a second. Take them back and down. Strong inhale through the nose. Loud cleansing exhale. And then take the arms up above. Bring the palms together and release them back home to your heart in prayer pose. The light in me bows to the light in you. When I'm in that place in me and you're in that place in you, then we become one. Namaste.